Okay, hi Mom.
Hi.
I am going to be talking to you today, as we already discussed. We're going to be doing kind of like that old TV show, Edward R. Murrow. What was that show called? I don't remember. You Bet Your Life? No, whatever. Back in the late '50s, there was a show, and Edward R. Murrow was the MC, and he would interview all these popular and famous people and what have you. So you being the most famous person I know, we're gonna do an Edward R. Murrow, except the cigarette smoke. He used to smoke like a chimney. Probably died when he was 40. But anyway, what we're gonna do is for those who know you and appreciate what you've done in terms of your piano playing career, we're just going to do like a little bit of a biography today and maybe in some future videos. And I thought what we would do today is start from the very beginning. Now for the sake of the audience who might not know how old you are, you just had a birthday, May 24th. How old did you turn on May 24th?
98.
98. So that's 1917 is when you were born.
Correct.
And this is 2015. Any mathematician can figure out that that's 98. So there you go. All right, but for the sake of the people that are interested in knowing how you got started playing the piano, how did you get started? I mean, there are some things I'm sure that I don't even know. Being your son, I should know the majority of these things, but a lot of the things I don't know. So tell us a little bit about how you got started. When did you start playing the piano?
Well, when I was 3 years old, I was given a little toy piano, 2 octaves, and I took to it right away. I started playing it, and actually we had a piano player. It played piano rolls, and of course this is very old-fashioned, but I would play along with the piano rolls. Whatever they were playing, I could play along, or so it seemed. That's what they tell me. And so they got the idea that little Dorothy seems to be musically inclined. That was the general idea in the family. So my mother got busy, and she started teaching me notes on the piano. That's how I got started.
Okay, so who was it specifically that kind of first saw that you had some talent that should be taken advantage of, so to speak, or that you could really advance in over the years in piano? Who was that?
My mother.
Oh, your mother was. Mm-hmm. Okay. Was it? Didn't you also have a brother who was in a band as well?
Well, yes, he played alto sax.
Okay.
And he was in a band, and they were actually on the radio. And he thought that I should start piano lessons later, a little later. So when I was 6, I started taking piano lessons. And it went very well. I enjoyed it, but I didn't like to practice.
Who likes to practice?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe Michael Jordan, I suppose. I don't know.
Oh, well, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So my mother got a little stick. She got a little stick about this long. And if I felt like I didn't want to practice, I would sit at the piano with my hands not on the keys. Then she'd say, put your hands on the keys. I put my hands on the keys, but I wouldn't play. So she would get this little stick, and she would go, wham, and then I would play.
You were motivated by the little stick.
The little stick.
Okay.
It might have been a little one, but it had its power.
It had its power. So from age 3 to 6, you started taking piano lessons at age 3. Well, I mean at age 6.
Yes.
So what was happening between ages 3 and 6? Did they just kind of like watch you kind of develop on your own, or what happened?
Well, my mother had studied piano, and she was pretty good, but she played like ordinary things, and when she saw that I had real ability. She was overjoyed. And so she had the determination for me to become a pianist. And by golly, she and her stick succeeded. They succeeded.
At the age of 98, you're still carrying a torch for that damn stick.
Yes.
If you could find it, you'd burn it, right?
Well, really and truly, if it hadn't been for her and her stick, I don't think I would have amounted to anything at the piano, really.
So in a way, all joking aside, it's kind of like a bittersweet thought when you think about it. You kind of resented it, but at the same time, you've got to appreciate it because it carried your career for 80 some years.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. Okay. So tell me about your piano lessons then. So you started at age 6, and so was it your mother who was giving you these lessons, or did you go outside the home?
Well, no, at 6, she started me when I was 3, and then she realized that I was getting way ahead of her.
Mm-hmm.
So then she put me with a teacher, and the teacher was wonderful, very understanding.
Do you remember the teacher's name?
Oh,
Was it a man or a woman?
it was a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I threw you a curveball. That question just came to my mind. It's
I
okay.
know.
How long do you think that you took lessons from this teacher?
About maybe 3 years.
Okay. So from 6 until 9, you were taking lessons from this one person. What happened at the age of 9?
Well, then the teacher that I was studying with decided that I needed a more advanced teacher, and that she recommended someone that I should switch teachers, and which I thought was very noble of her, really, to to recommend a more advanced teacher for me. And teachers usually don't do that, I don't think.
Yeah, they want to collect their own fee.
Well, of course.
And so yes, I can see where that would be noble of that person.
Yes.
When they said to themselves, Dorothy has real talent, I can't help her anymore.
Yes, that's exactly right. So then I started with a more advanced teacher, and it went very well. The second teacher I had was very understanding, and I practiced for this second teacher. I didn't practice at all for the first one, except through my mother. My mother no longer had to sit with me with a stick. And so from then on, I realized that it was fun to play the piano, and it was fun to practice, because this teacher, the second teacher I had, was so understanding, and she was the one who really advanced me way beyond, and I was with her for until I was I believe the second year in high school. A long time.
It's a long time.
It is.
With the same teacher.
Same teacher. But it was foolish to even think about going anywhere else, because we had so much respect for each other, and that's the way it has to be if the student is going to advance. And it was the best time. We had the best time together, and we would play duets, and we would play duo piano. By that time, we played duo piano. That's where you have 2 pianos and 2 people.
Oh, wow.
Duets are 2 people at the same piano. But then you advance to 2 pianos and 2 piano players.
Okay. So when did you start going public, or when did your teacher say, Dorothy, let's take that next step, let's get you in front of people because you're ready to show your skills to the public?
Well, this teacher would put on programs for all of her students yearly in June, and it's sort of like the school thing. By the time you're in June, you're advancing to another grade in school. And she had the same idea, that we would have a big recital with all of her students at the end of the year. And so I had a lot of experience, really, because every year I knew I was going to appear in public. Well, then she would hear about little community things that were happening, dinners from the society, this society and that society, and she would make arrangements for me to play during their dinners or somewhere along the line. So she got me out there in the community at a very young age. I think the first time I appeared, I was about, let's see, I think I was about 10 years old. I'd studied for, well, four years. I had studied with her for, so I was getting pretty good, I guess. I don't remember, actually, if I was good or not. Who knows? When you're that young, you don't
Right.
have that kind of knowledge of, am I good or bad?
Right.
Somebody else has to decide for you. But anyway, I started playing in the community for different affairs that they were having, like a meeting of the people who were planning a Christmas program, and then I would play for. They would hear me, and then they would have me play at the Christmas program, and that sort of thing. All community stuff in this little town.
Okay. Hang on one second. I'm going to pause it.